Ta-da! And it's me. It's me. And nobody else but me. But you, Mary, Pepper, Jackie, Steph, John, Matt. Well, not Matt Slozer, the usual master astrologer that joins me here on Astrology and Alchemy. But he is in Florida. So he cannot. And he is joining me with telepathy. He is at work and he is doing the serious things, which we all do actually work serious jobs when we're not here doing the less serious things. And, Matt works with international business and he does his advanced degrees are in chemistry. So when I say master astrologer and someone that really has that objective view when doing psychic, occult, intuitive work, that is indeed that very, very scrupulous, analytical kind of vibe that Matt brings. But he's not here tonight. It's just me. So you're going to have to deal with my crazy scatterbrained. It's been a really wild day for me. I've been desperate, absolute desperate to get my podcast that I do, political ranting and forensic psychology discussion. But they banned me for, looking for a kidney for my father, who's always looking, still looking for an O positive, or you can be anything else. They have swap programs where like another person's wheeled in and that person's wheeled in, and together they are earth, water, air, and everyone gets an organ. But he needs a kidney like yesterday to live. So I absolutely post every day on that. And so they spammed me and it froze the majority of my social media accounts, which makes it quite difficult. And I'm really lucky that this StreamYard account, which then blasts out to all the different locations, and then Odyssey Radio, an independent station that will carry us and allow you to download for free and access us anywhere, anytime. Anything that the metaverse is kind of worked with. You will struggle to find my social media right now, but that's okay. It's no big deal. So if usually, you are streaming from Facebook or Instagram or a YouTube and you are wondering where I'm at and you found this as a time traveler and it's like Wednesday morning, there's so many other places you can go and join and find us. I can't even say the names because then I'll get, man, is this America? It is. I'm in northern Minnesota and we are here, says Carson. And it's true. Me, Sassy Sarah, is here for Astrology and Alchemy, and I'm excited to bring for you, as best I can as a singular host, the astrology for the week ahead. So, are you ready? If this is your first time here, guys, I want you to absolutely take a moment to get a piece of paper and a pen, or pull up an email to yourself, or feel brave enough to put in the chat room where you are, who you are, and what's brought you here today. Because as we go through the week ahead in astrology, I'm going to ask you what you think. I'm going to ask you what you are sensing and seeing for predictive spaces. And the best way to fight skepticism is with your own validation, to be able to write something down. Man, I'm seeing this, 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 and this. I'll try to not be too suggestive, but just suggestive enough that we know we're using astrology here. You write down what you see and get. And then as it comes to fruition, right, Pepper, Dolly, Katie? And as it comes to fruition, you get the confidence and the understanding to interpret your own intuition. And that really is, when people are asking, Sarah, I want to, because I do mentorship for people wanting to sharpen their abilities. Cognitive abilities are muscle and practice, and you can do it. We can do it. And this is how. This is one way. There's so many ways. This is just one. Get a pen and paper out. Get a moment. Take a deep breath, pop your back, stretch your muscles. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I've been enjoying Just Juice. I'm on a juice detox. I'm on a cleanse. Going into the cold season. Right? You try and clean everything out. My OCD had me ripping the tag off the back. It did tell me exactly what was in this. And I can tell you by the taste. It's carrots and lemon and grapefruit, which is what hooked me because I love grapefruit juice. And something else. And I thought, that's good for me because next week I'll be in Kansas City. They're checking out my dad. And so I need to be super Sarah and be taking care of my health. So I'm doing all the healthy things. Now, hopefully that was enough banter and talk and meandering about that you were able to get a piece of paper and a pen. Are you ready? Ready. It doesn't have any turmeric in it, which should always be coupled with high heat and black pepper. I love turmeric milk, like warm turmeric milk with a little bit of grain, like black pepper and really sweet honey. Ooh, it's the best. But this is kind of, it's got lemon. That's what it was. It's got lemon juice in it too. It's really kind of a bittery, tart, kind of a fun. But my kids are learning their chakras, the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And so orange, if you're a woman struggling with polycystic ovarian syndrome or endometriosis or hysterectomy or just gut-related reproductive health, you want to get orange, baby, because orange is right down below your navel. It's like Ducalace from nature. It's like nature's colace, only it's carrot. You know what I mean? Orange is so important. So anyway, moving forward. There she is. I'm looking at the moon. Moving into the tree line so that I can see it perfectly, almost as if the little aliens and Chinese workers and people up there were pushing it across the sky themselves. There it is. Speaking of things in the sky, astrology. Here we go. Astrology is key. Astrology really helps me when I'm feeling manic or crazy. And guys, we are in Scorpio season. What does that mean? Well, if you could see this behind me, if you were watching from the video feed, you wouldn't be able to see it anyway because of the lighting. But that is a chart of the alchemy and how the alchemy is arranged for you to kind of see the breakdown of how the constellations and the movements of those planets really do correlate to how we maneuver. So here we go. Without further ado, I've got it over here. There it is. Wednesday. That's tomorrow. It's going to be Wednesday, November 2nd. It's my dad's birthday. It really is. I know I talk about him a lot, but he's very important to me, and it's his birthday tomorrow. So I am going to be feeling good, sending him a message, working my way and planning my way to Kansas City by the end of the week. Okay. There it is, Matt. If you were in the show watching us, he's watching us from the Florida beaches. But the moon will be, that's not true. Is it? Oh, I guess it is. Dang, I wrote something different down in my diary. I really did. Let me just double check that that's true. Because I'm having second guesses of my own self now. It is true. Okay, well, if you're just listening in the radio, you don't know. If you're watching in the chat, I try and post it here for you. But the moon waxes into Pisces. What the hell does that mean, Sarah? Well, this is that opportune time for those people who tune in and I do enjoy Matt's counter hosting to this because I say, Matt, what do you think? I already have, when I do the monthly astrology, what my beliefs are for this day. And then I love to see the objective moment of him saying, ABC, and to see what A, B, and C's correlate to what I've already written, because then it's very validating to me. And when words are repeated, when themes are reintroduced, I love the patterns. That is what it is about. So you guys out there, what do you think? Firstly, before I share, the moon waxing into the constellation Pisces. So this means really that there is a softer, intuitive tone that you're going to find. Pisces meaning that heart space because it is a water energy. It is the fish energy. And moon is menstrual cycle or tidal waves or internal waves. So, a soft, intuitive, calming heart tone. Think heart chakra. We were just talking about chakras. Chakra. People get real upset about it if you say it wrong. It's like chakra, chakra. Peace and contentment. Let it fill and weep and fill and weep and flow. That gratitude, spaces, and joy chill the edge. I had shared with a fellow occult worker of mine coming from a more Amish traditional conservative space. It's fun, right? The range and diversity. Chill. There's a lot of heat and air and yang action out there, guys. And to be able to know that, okay, on this particular day tomorrow, there's going to be some emotions moving through us and some placid, sometimes a calm, especially for people born of trauma. It creates anxiety because it's too quiet. Let the shadow work in this space be relaxation. There is an ebb and flow. And that anxiety is real because it's the uncertainty of what is to come next. Which what's really wonderful is the know of the knowing that you know that it's coming is the knowing that you need to know enough and nothing more. Now you know that it's time to relax because it's quiet. And be grateful for that moment in the now. That's it's really hard for me to say. And so I hear myself, I really do. But ice baths, ways of cooling your central nervous system, taking advantage of how to regulate your responses, acclimate yourself, take in the calmness. You know what I mean? You know. You know what you know, right? You know. And this really is feeling that. That a surfer like surfs up. If you've seen that penguin cartoon movie, it's really great, by the way, with Shia LaBeouf and uh, I always say Jack Daniels, which is Jeff Daniels. So bad with names. Big Lebowski and Jeffrey Daniels. Tron. Anyway, that you're able to just like stop. Yeah. And with the earth and water energies, I know I'm often sharing, especially in a clinical space, the importance of our thoughts and our feelings being yin and feminine and our air and our doing what we say and what we do behavior wise being that masculine yang. And this really this is science, which is I love. It's so dependable. These equations kind of show themselves throughout cultures and time and space, and I enjoy it for that reason because it allows me to empathize with so many. Moon on moon, waxing in Pisces. This is kind of just, calm the heart. Calm the heart. You know what I mean? So yeah, just kind of chill, right? Someone said it's blurry. That's Google. Like it is. Like it is. And so oftentimes I'm thinking, okay, just because what we think and feel, you can't see that until you speak it. This is so much yin and yang and also astrology. This is astrology as well because you have your earth signs, your water signs, your air signs, and your fire signs. So in many ways, we're speaking to that when we are doing this walk here. Okay, that's the only thing happening Wednesday. It's going to be kind of a quick week, which I try and fill that full time slot here. But man, this week is kind of thin. Okay, that's okay. We don't mind. I mean, it's okay. Thursday, November 3rd. Here you go. What do we got, Sarah? Tell us. Hmm. Hey, Chet. Hey, Katie. There it is. There it is on Thursday. This will be the 3rd. Man, I'm going to be hopefully gearing up to be in Kansas City very soon on this day. I'm going to be prepping, really kind of getting my fingers into it, planning for the city market on the weekend, touching base with friends and family, and then hopefully getting some coffee, doing some readings, doing some portraiture. And what's going to be happening in the sky? What? Well, it's going to be Mary's godson's birthday. What? Well, up in the sky, the moon still waxing, still building, still growing, still getting bigger, still in the constellation of Pisces. So a lot of those same feelings, calm, okay, but it's trine the sun in Scorpio. So the sun in Scorpio, man, this is the center of the galaxy. It's a real big gravitational pull. Man, that sucker has been hiding an asteroid this whole time. No, I'm kidding. It was so bright we couldn't see. It was hidden in the light. Yeah, just beyond the light of the sun, an asteroid. But really though, the sun, we need it. We can't live without it. Can't stare at it. It's important, but it's a representation of you are my sunshine, of the center of your life, of the you are the light of my life. Like it's what love songs are written about, guys, but it's not just romantic and passion, it's very much your ego, your fire, your passion. And the sun is going to be in the space of Scorpio. And so when we think, okay, dang, this is going to be the vibe, this is that season. Okay, this is another water sign, Pisces and Scorpio. Water on water on water. It's just like pouring more water into the Kool-Aid. If it was, pooped in the pool and you're just adding more water into the pool, it's still poop pool water. You know what I mean? So you have to be very aware of what your water energy is because you're going to get more of it on Thursday. So allow your intuition to guide your decision making. Really? Well, its voice is loud and it's powerful. What do you mean its voice? The emotion. I'm going to write this in because you want to identify what emotion is leading you lately. Emotional stirring, emotional drama, feelings, and churning, overwhelming, spilling, blending, mixing juice into your root beer. The water is rising. So I want you to think about, what do you do when the water is rising? Get to high ground. Man, you got to get to high ground. What does that mean? Get where there's not water. Well, yeah, duh. So get somewhere safe, get somewhere that you know, get somewhere that you can think, clear your mind, let emotions out, cry, weep, sweat. This is not, and when I say this, earmuffs for those of you delicate graphic ears, forensic psychology, I have to remember oftentimes that I just spew this stuff out. But if you're a cutter, back in the days of the early, not even so far away, not so long ago, read Mad in America. It's a really great book on this, like the Quaker times, colonial medical mental health, bloodletting. Ugh. And it's also, I think, consistent with harvest season that you drain it of its adrenal fluids, especially if it's in shock, right? Um, think of Gordon Ramsay talking about the importance of your food being happy even when you kill it, that it not even be that, pigs are stunned for really long and they stay alive. It's horrible and and like that the meat tastes bad. It's been ruined by the hormones of fear. That fear meat tastes bleh. Yeah. This is real. And this is why you kill the animal as humanely as possible, as quick as possible, and then you drain it. It's interesting. The whole concept is just Dr. Kevorkian interesting. But the point is that this is the vibe. The arthritic finger joint. This is it. The pulse. In sun, in moon, conflicting. what I see and what I don't see is going to be a lot of feelings. What you think you're seeing, even in the reflection or of what other people are showing you, man, it's only half. Do, 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 do. It's only half. So just get ready. Why? Get to high ground. The water's rising. Get to high ground. So then what happens? Then what happens? Well, that's Thursday. And that's the only thing that's going to happen. Don't forget, if you have a pen and paper in front of you there, write down your predictions for what you expect to pan out. When you hear me say, and this is why it is suggestive at this point, the water is rising, get to high ground. Is this metaphorical? Is this quite literal? Are we going to have more flooding? Yes. Are we going to have continued issues with contaminated water? Yep. Spilling, like pipeline, like spilling. Who has their? We need to turn the water off. There's almost like a turn the water off. Get yes. Write it down. If you're hearing anything, if your intuitive voices are telling you anything, put your pen to paper, start scribbling. This feels stupid, Sarah. I don't know. Is this great? Just let it out. Let it go. And just write. Write it down. Even the weird, wild, and crazy, I welcome it. We are the weird, mister. Write it down. And then it's going to be Friday. Man, you know what happens on Friday? People get crazy. Well, not everybody. Maybe just people in their 20s. Maybe not even people anymore. I think that people are getting back to getting crazy. But what's going to happen? Well, there's floods happening. People are feeling crazy emotional, conflicted emotional. Some people are going to drown. What does that mean? They're actually going to drown. That means they're also going to like be overwhelmed by emotions. And when people like get overwhelmed by emotions, they stop breathing, they stop functioning, they isolate, they remove themselves. That may or may not be a great thing. You got to look at the people around you to see and know that it's not you. Then you have to think, well, then some people are going to do bloodletting. They're going to be like, pour the water out, or they're going to be crying a lot, just crying a lot. Like, what's the deal? Is it me? No, that would be a physical way of actually dealing with it, like recycling it, like regulating it. And that's okay, but it's again, not about you, not about me. Some people will float. They will be very lazy and do nothing and just be like, I can't do anything right now. They might be in like a safety possum mode. That's very real too. And then you're going to have people that are at high ground. And maybe even a small few people already in their Noah's Ark boat that were preparing and ready and handing out tickets to high ground. Always those too. Right? Katie, Steph, Ruth, Rebel, Heather. Wow, welcome, guys. Some old friends and new friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is going to be an issue. As Steph shares in the chat room, Russia is backing out, saying that they're not going to attack grain boats because of the Turkey and Ukraine issues. Man, back and forth, back and forth. I also am very weary of the news right now. If I'm in America, the news in every other major first world country is different than ours. And I say that just from friends and family that all live overseas. So when I'm talking with them and I'm like, where'd you hear that? I'm amazed. I'm really amazed. And when I see them sharing things about like concern, I'm amazed at the differences of the headlines. So just kind of, man, it's really interesting. So anyway, looking at doing a sweet party this Friday. It's going to be the first week of November. It's going to be gratitude season. We need to be giving if we have too much. We need to be recycling that energy well. For all my advanced witches, we all understand gratitude magic. It's quite complicated, but also fun. Well, what is going to be happening on Friday? Is it only one thing happening? Just that one thing, maybe. Yeah, just the one thing. Well, and it's not a horrible thing. Kind of a decent thing. The moon, still waxing, still building, dead end, into Aries. Do you know what I mean? It's moving into fire. It's moving into action. It's moving into what do I got to do around here? You know what? I can't feel like this anymore. I've got to call him. I've got to meet him. I've got to go out and party. I've got to dance, dance, dance on Friday. And that's really good timing for a fire energy, for all of the weeping and the crying and the sadness, the emotional turmoil to move to motivation for you to want to do something. So let's dance. And I imagine people are going to feel ignited. They're going to be moved. Good night, Mary. And for those of you heading in, those of you in other parts of the world where it's seriously late in the evening. And I also know I have a partially soothing voice. I need to pick it up a notch, huh? I should have had coffee, and instead I had carrot juice. That's what you get. Anyway, the moon waxing into Aries. So the moon, emotional tidal waves in the body, menstrual cycles, sperm cycles, emotional cycles, very much so. Spiritual cycles too. Yes. You can watch your plants. You can watch all organic creatures kind of growing with the moon. All of our ancestors did, for darn. The Farmer's Almanac still does. You can get it in the grocery aisle still. Waxing, growing, getting bigger into Aries. Bold, passionate, adventurous. Energy flowing through our veins that meets the heart. Finally. Pa-bum! Clear! Pa-bum! Beep, 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 beep. We're back. Take action. Set up this fruition of these emotional thoughts and feelings. Now the plan's put into action. So that's kind of fun. Go for it. Go, go, go for it. There's going to be a jolt. There's going to be a kickback. There's going to be a wake up call. What's it going to be? What is your intuition telling you? Share in the chat room if you feel bold. Do it. Brave. Do it. That's the only thing that's going to happen Friday. How do you see that panning out for the macro, the country, the nation? Hmm. 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 Pepper, Dolly, all kind of adding, man, we need to sharpen our skills. We need to be aware of speech. We need to be utilizing all of that energy. We need to be watching ideas. We need to be paying attention to tools. And this is Friday. This is the moon in Aries. Okay. Now, fuel. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Did you get that? Pepper, right on. Make all your intuitions, and if you're all my stock brokers and traders and people of that realm, that's Friday. That's our water turns to fire. Think about that. Saturday morning. Saturday morning, we look up to the stars, but it's the daytime. We can't see them, but they're out there. They're still out there. They're out there. And what would they be telling us? What will they tell us? What are they telling us? What are they telling you? Venus and Scorpio. Ooh, baby. You got a date plan for Saturday? Maybe you should. Maybe you should. The first weekend of November looks like it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot, and also be careful because with the moon waxing into Aries, feelings are on fire. I'm mad at you. I can't believe that. I'm so frustrated after this week. People are going to be feeling a lot, moving into fire. Slaps, punches, pinches, going out on a roller coaster ride, getting slapped in the face at the bar, getting punched with a fruitcake pie, or like I don't know what I was thinking of there, like a comedy show where they're smashing watermelons. This is going to be emotions coming alive, being alive, and Venus in the Scorpio season. Venus is the planet of sensuality, of money, beauty. Give it to me, baby. Sushi. Rub it all in my hair. Eat it off my naked body. I mean, you can't say for certain what's sexy. It's all subjective. That's right. It's internal. It's feminine. It's you. It's your thoughts and feelings that are all you. It's an internal. Yes. Yep. This is the universe's bitch slap, so to speak. Yes, it is. Venus in Scorpio. Scorpio is emotions. This is female, female on female with female emotions. This is like Jenny McCarthy and Pamela Anderson and Megan Fox all in the same room. This is like, it's going to be sexy, but crazy, but weird, but chaotic, but like, whoa. Venus in Scorpio. It's also a little mysterious. You're not sure what's going on. And this is opposing Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus. Rebel said, and did you know that between last night and today, there was actually an asteroid that passed by Earth at a 1.25 million miles closer than the moon is on average? I'm a little bit, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And it makes me sad for myself and my ego. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm kind of worried about how yesterday they announced that, like, oh yeah, and there seems to be like a very large asteroid headed our way. Um, Good thing we've been blowing them up lately, right? Right. I hope we save an extra rocket and it doesn't blow up like this last one did in its first 3 attempts. Like, oof. Like what? Yeah. Anyway, Venus and Scorpio. It's opposing Uranus and Taurus, which means that, I mean, Uranus, man, that planet doesn't know what it's doing. It's crazy. Uranus is the Winona Ryder of the galaxy. It's spinning the wrong direction. It's on a different axis. It's cold. It's hot. It's Uranus. It's eclectic. It is strange. Do, 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 do. Planets are strange. It would be Uranus. And people make fun of it because it's named after a butthole. I mean, this is Uranus. And it's going to be in the sign of Taurus, the constellation of Taurus, which is, hey, if you know a Taurus, they're stubborn. They're earth signs. All earth signs are. I'm an earth sign. I can say that. We think we know. We think we're the smartest. We need to know it all. Tell us again, because we got to be certain. What was that? Are you sure? Did you think about that? Critical, analytical. Got to make sure we check it again and again, because we're perfectionists. And a Taurus, man, they're the unmoving thinker. The I know all and I'm not moving from my ground. Virgos, we think we know it all, but we also want to know what you know, and we're willing to change our mind if you know more than we do or can break our brain. And we dare you to try. Capricorns are the, well, I knew all and I've known all and I've been willing to know more, but you know what? I think I know enough at this time, but tell me anyway. And you aren't really sure if they're going to change or not. So do with that what you will. But anyway, earth signs are interesting. And the Taurus is the middle of them, the stubborn of them. I like to think of it as Ferdinand the bull. Get out there and fight, you big thing. And it's like, oh, look at this tulip. It smells, guys. And that's very much how the vibes are going to be for Venus and Scorpio. You can't push this. Do you know what I mean? You can't push this. It's going to be really crazy. So this is Saturday? Man, Matt, I wish you were here to kind of give me a little practicality on this one because I worry. Worry about this because it might be tempting, to keep an emotional distance as things are on fire and from other people feeling like, I don't know, I'm kind of like Ferdinand on the boat, like you're not like anyone else. And so Saturday, you might feel a little distant, but that Scorpio, you're going to also, because you're vulnerable and coy, it's going to be like Natalie Portman is sexy. You know what I mean? It's just so weird because it's Temptation Island. That's going to be, you're going to fall into a pit that you didn't even see coming. Like we wanted to be childlike and not attractive. This isn't a movie about sex. It's a movie about Star Wars things. And then she's just bomb. You know what I mean? And can't be unattractive. It's hilarious. And it's because you're not trying. It's so easy. And that's why. It's because that Scorpio is not really there to be trying things. So this is going to be an issue, guys. This is going to be an issue. And I don't know if it's something that you're just going to have to go with it and enjoy the rewards. When I say Temptation Island, I mean, I don't know what I even mean by that. What do I suggest for the ritual work there? Someone had asked specifically, and I actually, it's ironic that you asked me that because I hadn't written it in yet. And I really don't want to force it. But maybe we should in this space. Temptation Island, man. I'm tempted to go with like Wilson. Dolly said, don't accept anything less than kindness. And Pepper said, man, try to persuade, but you'll be unable to. Katie said, focus on accepting and acceptance. Carson says, hey, I'm a Cappy. Careful what you say there. Yeah. What do we think? Sunday, fall back in time. We're not there yet. This is still Saturday, so we're going to say oh, dare I do it? I'm going to think of Schrodinger. And how when I say that you be both, you're actually three things. You're alive, you're dead, and you're both alive and both dead. So the ritual work for Saturday, I would say, is going to be to be both, be all, be none, be, you know what I mean? Like stay in your lane, but still drive in the same direction. Man, it's going to be wild. Let's see Sunday. Let's just take a second before we're kind of getting here to the end. I can't believe it's Sunday already in our astrology time. Matt, we're missing you here. Now it says the moon waxing in Aries still. Okay, that's fiery. A lot of passion, feeling like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And it's sextile Saturn and Aquarius. Now, Saturn and Aquarius, guys, anytime I see Saturn and Aquarius, Saturn is the planet of, if you liked it, then you should have put a ring on it. Saturn is the rules, the regulations, the DMV of the galaxy. The dot your T's, cross your I's. If you have an idea where you're going, Saturn told you where you're going. It's like Deep Space Nine. It's the gas station. Rings, rules, restrictions, says Heather. Yeah, that's marriage. And that's Saturn. In what? What is the planet of rules, restrictions, and rings? It's in Aquarius. People always assume water because of the word aqua, and that's cool. Think of throwing the baby out with the bathwater, because what's really happening is this is an air sign. And Aquarius, Aquarius, that's been the motto of COVID. That has been, dare I say, the naughty words. It's been the pandemic. It's been the vaccine. It's been bans. It's been rules. It's been Black Lives Matter. It's been mottos of humanity that have later been fraudulent and used to exploit. It's been emotional air. Say it, don't spray it. But people are screaming with emotion. And so there is spraying of air. With our moon on fire. Hubba lubba lubba lubba. After a Saturday of craziness. Man, I wonder if people don't make stupid decisions on Saturday. I wonder if our nations don't make dumb decisions. I wonder if people in politics and in the public eye don't make dumb decisions, thinking everything is blah, blah, blah. And then, man, on Sunday, that just, it like you wrenches us back a little bit in ways. I wonder if there's going to be something new. I hate radio silence, which is also why I really value the co-host space is being able to dance a little bit and have that break for my intuition. What are you guys getting there in the chat room? What do you think for Saturn? Rules being blocked, protest, rebellion, marches. Just don't buy one, said Dolly. This is going to be pretty powerful, not following what is supposed to be the rule or law. Think about that, guys, for parenting. Think about that for rules you're making at work. Why aren't they doing this? Why aren't people going back to the office? Why aren't people these rules? Why aren't they following the rules? Think about protest, emotional marching with the mouth. And this is a Sunday. So, what can happen on a Sunday? And dare I say, the neurolinguistic ritual work dampen. Dampen as in slightly saturate, dampen as in smother. Ooh, careful, Sarah, right? Right. You've got to be very careful how you work with this energy. This is advanced shadow work for those people who are very familiar with the alchemy here. You are dealing with hot, wet fire. That could be like a hot grease fire. You can't add water to that. So when I say dampen it, that doesn't mean a wet cloth with any additional water. It would have to be something that smothers it. Do you know what I mean? So this is a quieting. Dolly said this is an avoidance, perhaps, of the rat race. Steph said, man, this is just saying F it. There's going to be a lot of that vibe. Heather says, I get this a lot at work, always pushing the boundaries of the rules and shortcutting things. Yeah, because you want to learn those limitations and efficiencies. So you have to add the personal incentive. You have to add the safety. You have to add the reason for it. And I was actually talking about this today with rejection. The perfect amount of information for why you reject something versus why you don't. Like, grandma, sorry, I'm never going to wear that. It's an ugly sweater, so you can crochet it as many times as you want. I'm not wearing it. Like, we would not say that. We would not reject our grandma. But also, like, if we say, sorry, I don't want your lasagna, we don't want somebody to take it personally. So we might, also be thinking, like, I don't eat onions and the likelihood that there's onions in that. And I don't want to, like, take it and then not eat it or be eating it and puke, or like, you didn't know I was allergic to onions. And I don't want you to make a whole nother lasagna. So, like, I don't want to reject you, but no, thank you. Like, man, relapsing, rejection. Pay attention. Be cautious. Again, guys, we're on that high ground. We're now on the high ground. People are coming in hot. Coming in hot. What does that mean? Boat's on fire? Too many people in the high ground that's going to sink our high ground? Be aware. Be aware. Just be aware. It's going to be very, very important. Dampen and think about how some people are going to be pouring water onto a grease fire and other people are going to be smothering. And to some, it's going to look violent, and to some, it's going to be exactly what you need. Now, as we round out the end here, and I can't believe it, I am going to leave you hanging for Tuesday, and hopefully just you'll join us next week for what we are able to bring you on that. Monday, two things are happening. First, Venus and Scorpio again, woo, squaring off with Saturn and Aquarius. This is another situation, guys. This is something happening. Venus and Scorpio squaring off with Saturn in Aquarius from Monday morning. Ooh, this is a repeat of Friday, but with a little bit of whatever broke down on Sunday. So you know what? Friday was great. It was so great, in fact, that maybe it broke things down on Sunday. But you know what? Now that things are broken, fuck it. I'm going back for seconds. Think about this in your life. Think about this in your space. Think about this as a nation. Think about this in your workspace. Think about this as humans, sociology, psychology. Feeling violent and mysterious and evil and villainous, but squaring off with needing to be rebellious and breaking the rules a little bit. It's like Harley Quinn. This is like the Death Squad, Suicide Squad. This is the Suicide Squad where you're telling me you want to get the most evil, crazy, uncontrollable people together in a group and put them out on the street? Yeah, put the worst against the worst. Okay. Let's see how that works. It's what's going to happen on Monday. Suicide Squad. What does that mean to you when you hear that? That there might be limitations in your relationships that can be really frustrating, and you're going to have to work with that. New information, new desires, new oversteps have reset the space for which we feel blank. You're going to have to figure out what that is. Gotham City is now overrun. Bad guys are now not the worst bad guys. What? Yeah. All my friends are heathens. Remember that song? It was a big hit when the movie came out. Yeah. Well, and then finally, our feelings with all this baloney going around. What? You're telling me this is happening? Ah, now there's a feeling response. The moon still waxing, still building. So we're still feeling a lot. It's not like we're going to not feel. But instead of feeling maybe fiery or motivated or manic or wanting to do shit, it's Monday. We're going to get stubborn about it. We're going to get stubborn about it. You know what? If you're going to do that, then I'm going to do this. You know what? Take all the diesel. I'll do this. You know what? Hi, Laura. It's this idea that you're going to be feeling very strategic and unemotional. You may want to slow things down and reconnect with the present moment. Feelings become apathetic and more strategic. So there's a diffusing of our feelings and going cold. Where and how? I want you to think of the actual physics of that. Where are we going and how are we getting there? Because there's a lot of feelings and thought. So there's kind of a balance there of how to feel and how to think about things. Now, I can't leave you completely hanging. I can't do that, right? No, I can't. I wouldn't. But I have 3 minutes, guys, to fill you in on what is probably another huge, significantly big astrological day that meets with us exactly a week from today, which is a full moon and a complete lunar eclipse in Taurus. What? A full moon and lunar eclipse? Yes, in Taurus. And that's going to happen on Tuesday, November 8th, along with two other things. So it's going to be a significant day. Get that pen and paper out and write down what your plans to use this energy are. Tuesday, full moon, lunar eclipse in Taurus. There can be issues. Feeling confident as you might need to do this or be missing that fuel of the fire that just recently went, psst, okay, get stubborn, get grounded. Ground yourself to help stabilize. Don't ground yourself to be unmoving. There's a difference. Unmoving versus stabilize. Be very sure that you know what you're anchoring to. Anchoring to what for what. That's going to be very key. And this lunar eclipse, as all lunar eclipses are, and we just recently went through some eclipse magic, guys, just a few weeks back. This is a continuation of what our ancestors and residual vibes for spirituality kind of entail for deep transformation. You know, you look up to the sky and stuff just ain't fucking there anymore. Big holes in the moon and stuff. That means you are questioning your life. Did I do it? Is this the end? Did I do enough? Hey, where's that cute lady? Come here, kiss me finally before I die. Like, people will act in certain ways. And I want you to be very aware that consciously there are still people on this planet very dependent upon what they see in the sky. And we are all connected and we are going to feel that ripple. That is very, very true. And it's prepping us for election day. That's election day? You're not joking me. Well, you could have told the Mayans. It's true. It's election day. It's also the sun in Scorpio. What? The sun in Scorpio conjunct Mercury in Scorpio. Two scorpions roll it out onto the floor. Man, you're going to feel like it's time to work for these new ideas that you're coming up with, but the world's also new. So you feel like you need to take things slowly and you just anchored, but now you got to kind of run because things are crazy, but you're anchored. So, like, what are we doing? Are we bungee jumping? What? Becomes, I would say, water skiing. You're anchored. You need to really trust your boat. I think of John Candy and how, man, if you're signaling one thing and they don't know it and you're Dan Aykroyd up there, be very, very careful. Make sure your messenger bird or ways to communicate are clear. Be aware of your emotional language and what words you are using. Make sure that your messenger pigeon ain't pregnant, because that's going to change the way they fly and what they stop to do and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just be prepared. And the very last thing that's going to happen on that Tuesday, November 8th, man, I can't believe it's going to be election day. And as Pepper said, something happening underneath the moving. According to NASA, be very aware of things going around. Dolly said, be aware people are going to be agitated, especially certain people. Absolutely. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Then you add that Mercurio, I can't even speak. I'm so crazily excited. Mercury in Scorpio, and it's opposite Uranus and Taurus. So go back to that Uranus and Taurus moment this past weekend where you were thinking about something and you were anchoring yourself, but something kind of crazy and off the wall happened. Maybe it was even a weird dream. That intuitive thing that you wrote down right here. Look at your thing that you're writing on, Uranus and Taurus. What did your brain think of? That is going to have another ripple on Tuesday night. What? It's right. It's true. What did I write down for that Uranus and Taurus moment? Where was it? It was Saturday. Be both. Schrodinger's cat. Man, that's crazy. Man, while it might be tempting to voice everything all at once, instead find a creative outlet to help you think things through your feelings. Do not scream, do not squall, bite your lip and think through this before hurting someone. Don't let it be your own mouth. Don't bite your lip so hard. Do you know what I'm saying? Steph said, man, attempts to push off whatever establishments feel restricted at this time. Be ready. And guys, we are not kidding. This is amazing vibes, amazing energies, and happening on an election day. I can't even. So let me know if you would like a private reading. If you are in the Kansas City area this coming weekend, please look me up. Let me know. We can get a reading or a portrait session in person. And if you'd still like to take advantage of our birth chart special for $99, and that's only if you mention that you heard it here on the show, because usually it's more than that. Matt and I will do a full hour reading of your birth chart and break things down for you. So don't miss that, guys. Take advantage. Come on now. Anyway, I really appreciate you listening. Be sure and check us out next Tuesday. It's going to be a full moon. I should be here, supposing that my travel things are going well. But you guys, I want to hear from you and I want to see you. So join us online, join us on social media. Check me out at paranormalsarah.com, Slozer at yahoo.com. And also, Astrology and Alchemy is on Odyssey Radio, so you can download us for free and listen anywhere, anytime. And there's a plethora of other shows you can check out there too. But you guys, I want to thank you for joining us here live, me tonight on my lonesome. Every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central. Until next time. Boop.